Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone that rule well and teach well. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful lick out there. Y'all want to do this quick little video, Lord willing, to be edifying. Something I was meditating on, and Spirit jumped on me to do this lesson. I think I'm entitled it, we must examine ourselves. We must examine ourselves, and, what sparked it, I had been meditating on heavy that the elder Aram had mentioned yesterday, at the sit down, about growth, whether are we growing, so I had to examine myself, personally see, am I really growing? Am I the same nigga that I was, before I knew about the truth, now, now, am I growing? I had to examine myself and ask myself questions like, am I growing more in the spirit? Am I reading more? Am I reading more than when I first came in? Am I fasting more? Am I dealing with brothers, as, a man of the Lord should, and just even thinking about, it's a saying in the world, to every action, there's a reaction. It can be things that we do, that bring certain judgments upon us. I had to look at that. I had to look at myself. For example, if I'm, not eating right, shit, quite commonly, things are gonna start fucking up with my body. So I had to examine, how am I, how am I doing, with this truth that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai has given me, with all this wisdom, it's to be applied. I had to think about these things, and this just is all, just flowing through the spirit. I only had a couple of precepts, but just my personal, examination and seeing, what's going on with me, because sometimes, I can say myself personally, I might be quick to point the finger at, I might be pointing the finger at Jake. We know Jake fucked up. I might be pointing the finger at Eve, but examining myself, sometimes it's things that I can do that can provoke Eve. If I'm not handling my business, if I'm not in order, how can I expect Eve, my woman, to get in order? What the scriptures say, a wicked woman is given as the portion to a wicked man. So, I had to examine myself, and just seeing that, man, me personally, I can't lighten up, I gotta tighten up. It's more to just come and account, uh, uh, just really just showing up to count. That's a major part. But also, I had to look at how am I in this walk? Am I applying this wisdom? And it's been certain times, just looking back on 2023, even going farther back, it was certain things that I brought upon myself, because of the decision, the decision I made, decisions I made in life, whether it be not vetting a woman, dealing with a woman, certain relationships, or, buying things that might not have been wise, being in particular places, So this is all just part of my, personal examination to see, like, it's some things that I got to tighten up on, you know, in this walk, man, where to use this wisdom, where to apply this wisdom, where to be not just hearers of the word, but doers as the word. So like the doers of the word as well, and this is on 2 Corinthians chapter 13, in verse 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. You see? So we're to examine ourselves, to see, are we really working for Yahweh Shem Yahushua? Are we diligent, in this ministry? And I'm speaking for myself, first and foremost. It's some things that I got to tighten up on, reading more, fasting more, praying more, We can't pray enough, man, especially in the times that we finna go into. It's important to do as the scriptures say, pray without ceasing. Praying more, learning more, seeking the word. It's a lot of things that I can say I myself could do better of, even getting tighter in the Hebrew. That's gonna be, important in the times that we're going into. Sending up certain Hebrew prayers, during Jacob's trouble. Certain precepts, we're going to need to deliver us out of situations, just thinking, about myself, just examine ourselves. So this is really exhortation, for brothers, hey, this is 2 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 5 again. Examine yourselves, see what, you could do better at. What was that song Michael Jackson used to say? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Looking at the man. Sometimes we got to look at the man in the mirror. We got to pay attention to what's going on with us. And I'm seeing it, And, it's very important that we examine ourselves, man. You don't examine yourself, even on in a physical level. Some shit can go undetected for years and it grow into a bigger problem. It's like it may start off as a little bump on your foot, and then that motherfucker develop into a malignant tumor or some shit, because you didn't examine, what was going on with it. You didn't pay attention. You didn't examine yourself, Well, that's what examining yourself, before the Lord get on your ass, can do. It can benefit you, by examining yourself. All right. It said, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves, how that Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. Okay? So we should really be seeing, is Yahweh Shai really in us? How would, back in the day they had those wristbands, not wristbands, like rubber bands that said WW, you know what D, but we got to think along the lines WWYD. What would Yahweh Shai do, in these certain matters? So we must examine ourselves, All right. I'm gonna have this too. This is on Ecclesiasticus chapter 18 and verse 20. Before judgment, examine thyself. You see? So we're to examine ourselves, man. It's important that we examine ourselves. It just heavy in my spirit. I just been, really reflecting on things that I could have did better. Even looking at old videos. Okay, I could have bought out that precept. I maybe could have did this. So like,